Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Outside Insider. After a long and grueling, slightly chaotic draft weekend, we're back to once again break down the next era of Eagles prospects. The Eagles came away with an exciting crop of new players, headlined by Jihaad Campbell, a player who Howie Roseman thought was a top 10 talent and somehow got him at pick 31, which is just absolutely ridiculous no matter how you slice it. But the question is, what makes him a top 10 talent? So that's what we're going to be figuring out in today's stream. Just going over some tape, looking over some highlights of, his senior season with the Crimson Tide, and just trying to get a gauge on, more importantly, how he's going to impact this Eagles defense for the foreseeable future. So if I can do this correctly, which I can now. There we go. Cool. Right. So we're going to get straight into it very shortly and just get in some tape. Just see what we're working with here with Jihaad Campbell, because linebacker was not a position that many people expected Howie to draft in the first round, especially after signing Zach Bourne to such a big contract extension. So I'm intrigued just as much as anyone. I haven't watched, I've watched a little bit of tape like in the run up to this, but I haven't watched like as much as we will in this stream, because I think there's something quite special about going through player by player in this draft class, like as a community in this stream, and just evaluating them together and trying to get these ideas, especially when we get to the DBs, about McCuba, about McWilliams, about how we're going to potentially see them lined up in this defense, what it means for Cooper DeJean, what it means for these other players. So that's what our aim is today. Good evening, Duck. How are you? I hope you're all well. Now, I'm not sure if I go full screen, it's not going to work. Okay, this is as good as we're going to get. So this is Jihaad Campbell against LSU in 2024. Just going to go back to that blue arrow and see what it is we're watching a second. What jersey number? So that doesn't help. I'm assuming it's here, which already is interesting. So the very first snap we're seeing, he's actually down with the defensive line. He doesn't have a hand in the dirt, but this is where I was kind of potentially thinking he'd fit in this defense anyway, as someone that, you've got a great sideline linebacker in Zach Bourne who can go laterally. You've got Nakobe Dean in the middle, temporarily at least, who's a strong Mike. Like, do you have someone, I guess, for lack of a better term, you can do that extra bit, that Jalix Hunt / Hassan Reddick role where you're sort of off the edge, you can come down the middle, you can sit back in coverage. And I think automatically off the jump here, we haven't even got to the play yet. And straight away, he's not crashing the pocket. He's actually dropping back with the other linebacker. So an interesting look. He's now going to try and scrape across, get off a tight end block. He doesn't do it terribly, but could have done better. So the first play we see is a big run. I believe it would have been Kyron Lacey, maybe, if I'm not mistaken. But it's only one play. It's a good block by the tight end, to be fair. I don't think that's a particular knock on Jihaad Campbell per se. I mean, we've got 8 minutes of tape to go through, so I'm sure there's going to be plenty of opportunities to take a look. Now, there was no arrow there. I'm not making out there wasn't an arrow, was there? Just making sure we didn't. No, okay. Okay, that's better. Much better. I think that was nice. It's what we like to see from number 11. The only thing with that camera is it's so difficult. That was nice. Coverage PBU down inside the red zone, and just how active he's able to disrupt that. That's a big hit he laid on him as well. He's built really massive as well. Like, he doesn't look like it's very odd build. Like, he's not quite a defensive end. He's not quite a linebacker. He's got like the height of a defensive end, but the build of a linebacker. Like, that's really impressive. Like, off the jump. Very, very lean, but still a lot of power that he's hiding there somewhere beneath the surface. Campbell's Rascal is really high, exceptional football IQ, similar to what Nakobe Dean sees. He plays across the line as well. So plenty we get to experience then. As we see him scraping here, shuffles through traffic. Yeah, I see what you automatically there, the physicality and the IQ. So he's trying to come down. I can't tell if that's man coverage or not this play. So he's one of like 3 linebackers in. You can see him scraping down and scraping down. Steps outside. Now, see, the wrong thing would have been to just charge through that gap, because the running back would have just burst into this lane over here. So the fact that Campbell actually sits back and kind of washes along a little bit to then just come down and make a very thumping hit, I think it demonstrates that IQ there that Duck was talking about. Not much action on that one. but that's okay. We can't get action on every single play we have. It's more just, I think, the hustle I'm trying to look for. I mean, see, something like that's really good. I'm hoping we get to see this, line up in the middle and just watch movement with the eyes. So automatically, the linebacker's trying to bait him in on a counter, and it doesn't look... look how much... Okay, so this is a good example, right? If you look at where Campbell is here, where the ball carrier is, there's a lot of ground to make up. They've tried to take Campbell out of the play. And then by the end, if we go back one frame further and just watch his play again from this camera, look how far behind he starts. And then look at where he's able to just turn up field and crash to in the end. Like, yeah, okay, it doesn't save the chains being moved, but he ends up being one of the main players in that play by the end of it. So athleticism-wise, keeps up there with a bit of an orbit reverse thingy going on with LSU. Doesn't get washed out of the play. I think that's kind of all you can ask for, really. Is he in the slot there? No, okay, he's in the middle. Back pedal's pretty smooth. Eyes on the quarterback. Closes well. I mean, it's a good throw, to be fair. I mean, it was incomplete, but wasn't really intended to go in his direction. That's another example there of him just kind of scraping well. Eyes constant. If you keep it, look at his eyes. Not even focused on the offensive lineman that's pounding towards him at like 20 miles an hour. He's just going to rather keep his eyes on the ball carrier. Get a flag on that as well. Way. There you go. So I don't... Whoa, hello, hang on a minute. That get-off is insane off the edge. Like, we've not seen him in like a direct pass rushing snap yet. So he's part of a four-man front here. Kind of what Duck was alluding to. Evening, Mason Taylor, my beloved, his tears. Where did Taylor end up going? I can't actually remember, to be honest with you. It's someone shite, as far as I'm aware. Let's have a look. Let me Google it. Mason Taylor. Where did he go? He went to the Jets. There you go. Yeah, someone shite. So there was no one amazing. But if you look at this, I know he's the only one. Well, the other defensive end doesn't have a hand in the dirt either. But momentum-wise, I just want to... Yeah, that's scary. Almost blows that up. Good effort. That's scary, scary, scary first step. I think he's going to do it again here. Yeah, I'll tell you what. He's got some venom when rushing the passer. Look. Okay, in fairness on this one, this might be the most Bryce Huff sack I've ever seen, because I don't know why the centre just, at this point, looks at him, just puts his arm out and goes, yeah, fuck it, it'll be all right. And just comes back over here. Like, I don't get that. I mean, in fairness to Campbell, he gets down, forces the fumble. That's the trickier bit. Like, if you're going to get free penetration and a run at the quarterback, you've got to make it count. And that is something he did there. Could have easily just been a sack, but he made him pay. So, still don't know what that centre was thinking, though, because that was just absolutely shambolic from LSU. But great play by Jihaad Campbell. And it's raining and the LSU fans aren't happy. They're not used to rain, probably. Just watch the speed he comes down through as well. See, that's stupid. To me, that's on the centre. Okay, that's confusing me while they're bringing that back, because I'm trying to pause it myself. Stop doing that. But if you look... All right, I will say this. If you just watch the move he gives the centre here, this little like... Oh, that was so clean. That was so clean. I want to watch it again. Oh, the little jig around. Yeah. Okay, that is absolute sauce. Absolute sauce. I think even if the centre was looking in the right direction, he wouldn't have had a clue where he would have been physically looking there. Teach us football. I'm trying my best, Paul. I can't make promises, but I will try my best. Centre was looking in the wrong direction. Again, I think if the centre was looking in the right direction, that ain't going to make much of a difference. That was a ridiculous bit of wizardry there. Bourne and Campbell together will be scary. I think a little scarier than Bourne and Dean. It's a good shout. I mean, I can see the vision. We're only, a quarter into this game here. Apparently he was the number 2 off-the-ball linebacker prospect in the draft. Wow. Got him at number 31. That's insane there. The get-off that's terrifying. Like, his head is so rampant. Like, he's trying to pick up as much speed as possible. Into the chest of a lineman, gets into the chest, like up and under, which is nice. Forces the lineman to go round. Does he get a hand up? He tries, and the ball goes. Oh, it's a great throw, to be fair. Great throw, great catch. You can't do much about that. Now on the other side of the defensive line, okay, he's tried a spin move. He's got it in the pocket. I'm not sure if he's quite got the bend to be pulling off that. And I mean, the lineman, I think that's holding or maybe horse collar or something. He's just been thrown down by his neck there. But who am I to judge? I'm not a zebra. However, this is a weird one. I don't know how I deploy him as a pass rusher, but he's definitely got something. I see again, he's being banged up a bit here. But he's like the same height as a tackle. He's near enough the same height. He's just leaner. And he just can't quite spin right. Again, being held though by the neck. Okay, I'm going to let him off because I think he might be being played within an inch of the rules and then some here, because I don't think this looks particularly good for LSU. That's number 4 overall pick, Will Campbell. In fairness. Let's see. Yeah, good tackle. Don't think that was him, but fair enough. Oh, okay, nothing there. I wish they consistently put pencils on. That was nice from what I saw. Okay, that's... Oh, we play behind now. Where are we to? So he's back. I want to say there. Yeah. So backpedaling over the middle. It looked like he had a trips formation there. Yeah, nice. Just good positioning. Bad throw. Good position. Good. We get a better view. That's better. Tricky thing to read. So you're going to have a crossing route underneath. You're going to have one under here. Obviously, the idea is for the quarterback, go where the linebackers aren't. So, if Campbell goes over here, you can take the crosser underneath because he's going to have leverage over this guy. If Campbell goes that way, he goes the other way. So we'll see how it pans out. Instead, he just kind of shades it. He knows he's got safety help here. He knows he's got that's a referee, but he's got safety help here. He's got the linebacker there to close. His job now is to not bite on that and come down, ideally, or sit in that pocket, right? You can have potentially a break-in route there. I'm guessing you can have one that's going deep. It's a levels like flood concept by the looks of it. Okay, they break the other way, but the point's the same. Does sit in that zone really nicely. Now can he close down? See, I like that. If he closes down, that is the easiest pass in the world. Easiest pass in the world. And he just kind of sits there and waits, and he waits, and he waits, and he just reads the eyes. Like, you can tell so much about him just in this one play. Passes off one receiver, goes to bite on another, and then just checks the quarterback's eyes. He's not really even caring about where the receiver's going. He's just going to sit there, sit in that zone, almost bites on that front leg and doesn't, and the ball ends up incomplete. And you wonder if the presence of him made an impact on that play. It doesn't necessarily matter. I think the big thing there is that he's in a position to make a play and isn't biting. Like that at the college level, if you're biting on reads and stuff, doesn't bode well for the NFL. If you can just be disciplined, this is honestly, it's going to sound really silly. The one thing I think that was really missing from Jeremiah Trotter Jr.'s game last year, like when we watched tape of him coming out of college, it could hit like a freight train, absolutely crazy. But as soon as he's in coverage and he has to make a decision, he's so heavy on his feet that he couldn't do it. He'd get stuck in the mud and he'd either freeze and it's an easy play, or he'd go all in and he'd miss it. Whereas there is much more smooth reading of the game here from Campbell. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you've got him rushing here against a tackle again, up and under, trying to swipe underneath there, gets horizontal with the tackle. Some of these blocks are a bit egregious, I can't lie. I'm amazed none of them have been flagged as they dump it over the top. A little bit of elusiveness there, I didn't mind that, but that's incredible. To be that far back, like look at that, swipes up and under. Is that a face mask? You can definitely make an argument. I think that's, if it's not, it's definitely a horse collar or something, but great pressure by the Bama defensive front, and Campbell played a big role there. So you've really already got a versatile piece that, yes, he's drafted as an off-ball linebacker, but can be used off the edge. And when you look at the fact that, you've lost Brandon Graham, you've lost Josh Sweat, yeah, you've got Ojulari and Josh Uche, but they're not anything really to write home about in like a, replacing someone like either of those two players. I mean, at a maximum, they're probably at Sweat's level combined in terms of sack production. So you're starting two edge rushers, you'd assume would be Nolan Smith and Bryce Huff. And look, I'm bullish on Bryce Huff still. I think He's going to hopefully kick on this second year. The first year was always going to be difficult, and he got an injury. If he settles in, great. If not, we've got bigger problems to worry about. But anyway, if you bring in a player like this, not only does it give you an extra body on that defensive front who can rush off the edge and make an impact, but can drop into coverage. It just, again, opens up so many more options here for Vic Fangio to just move people around. Whether it's Matt McWilliams, whether it's going to be, Cooper DeJean, who we've seen on the CB blitzes and stuff before. I remember the game DeJean came back from injury, and I did this stream on a Wednesday, and I said the biggest change we'll see in this defense is you're going to have a corner that can blitz. And not the fact that he will necessarily a lot, but someone that can. And that threat alone is going to shake things up and give more opportunities to the defensive ends. And it did. Like, Nolan Smith really benefited, I think, from the presence of just having a reliable and a versatile slot corner next to him. And now you bring in someone like this, who, I said this the other day, when you go back and look at the various iterations of this scheme, right? We're talking like Fletcher Cox dropping into coverage. We're talking defensive tackles roaming around and edge rushers doing it. Like, they don't really have the personnel. But now, the first year under Fangio was a massive step. The second one, with a player like Jihaad Campbell, you can line him up wherever you want. Like, it doesn't, I don't think he cares. As long as he can feast and scrape an offensive line and make a hit, he's not going to care. You can see the toughness he plays with. You can see he's lined up. If we were to just point out on a cursor, this side, this side, this side, this side, in the middle. And this is in 3/4 of one game against LSU. This is a player that can absolutely just be this hybrid player that you can stick around wherever you want and just open things up for Fangio. And I think that's so, so important. LSU hasn't been the same since I stopped quarterbacking for him. Yeah, since I got the haircut, I think they've gone downhill a bit, to be honest. I need to dye it blonde and full go in with Joe Burrow. Trott's process a little too slow. He got much better towards... completely. 100%. I think he really did kick on and benefited from some defensive snaps. I was more just trying to make the comparison to college play from where because it was probably the best example I had to go off. But yeah, he really developed under Bobby King. I think he did a great job. And yeah, I'm excited for him long term. I think he's going to grow into much more than just a spot depth player or a special teamer. He's got some upside. And the longer he's in the league, the more preseason reps he gets, the more fourth quarter reps he gets, where he can just sort of understand just the processing speeds and get more acclimatized to them, then you're going to see more of him. And that's exciting. This was a really good rep, by the way. I've just been rambling and we've kind of forgot, but this is genuinely impressive. Again, linebacker here we're talking about. 2 hands into the chest, pushes the tackle back. Look at what the tackle's feet. He's got one pointing towards the end zone and the other one pointing the other, completely horizontal at this point. All the momentum here is with Jihaad Campbell. If he can swing round or spin back, he keeps him at an arm's length. The tackle's fighting back. And I think luckily the interior pressure pushes the quarterback into Campbell, and that's a sack. But just kept working, kept the legs moving, doesn't give up, doesn't stall. Even when he's being pushed out of the way, keeps running. And I think that's probably the biggest thing about that Bama defensive front is they all just keep going, and they know if you can crash the pocket, someone's going to make a stop. Similar sort of thing with the Eagles. I think you can see that now really beginning to blossom. Oh, first man whiffed, but Jihaad Campbell didn't. So that's if that first tackle was Jihaad Campbell, we might have some problems. But luckily it wasn't. It's even the hustle there. Like, he doesn't make the stop, but takes on one, just slips through the tiniest gap here to try and support a teammate. Yeah, they get the first down, but it was a good effort. It wasn't for a lack of effort. That's insane. Like, look at the knockback that this tight end's going to take now. Bang. What's that? 3-4 steps? Nesmar has to tuck it and run. Flag down. Throw out of bounds. Guessing that's PI or something. Don't know. Anyway. Blow it up. There you go. Yeah, nice. See, look, the reading that this is what, because I think processing is one of those things where we all yap about, like, as media, we all yap about football IQ and processing and like, oh, he's not good, he's not as quick as processing things, right? This is an example of processing speed, just mental processing speed. And like, if you ever read it on a scout report, oh, he's good at reading the game, he's a high football IQ. This is the kind of thing they're talking about. Oh, broke my screen. I don't have it, clearly. Number 11, obviously here, keeping an eye. He's obviously man coverage here, right? So he comes out. At this point, you can see the running back turning for the ball. He's not being scraped out or washed out and taken into this chip block. He knows at this point, with the running back now horizontal, he's going to get a bit of a chip. And just cuts inside it, like instinctively cuts inside it. Doesn't even entertain the idea of contact with that tight end, and then makes a downhill play towards the running back. It's a lot better if you watch it just in one motion, but just like the tight end is just clearly not there as a receiving option. If you just look at it, he's just like, yeah, I'll just take a step inside, mate. I don't want to have to deal with you today. I've got bigger fish to fry, and that fish is a running back out of LSU. It's just so quick, so seamless. And in the middle of a game day situation, you're not even going to think twice about that and just go, yeah, tackle for a loss and move on. When you just take a look at it a few times, his head doesn't even move. His head is not move. It's not pivoted. It's just all hips. He's just that aware of his surroundings and what he's likely going to encounter. And I think that's super, super, super impressive. What's up, Ron? Nice to see you, man. Rest in peace to Lacey. Yeah, that was so tragic. So tragic. And obviously our thoughts are with all the family and friends and LSU teammates. We need to get some Doritos by trading Bryce Huff. Look, I don't know. Do we want a film breakdown on Bryce Huff of 2024? There ain't really much to go through, is there? But I'm sure we can maybe work something out. But I think we could. I think we need to do him some justice here. I don't want to go back through his Jet stuff because I think we've all Hey, there's me. Look at that lovely thumbnail. Who made that? There's little Joe Burrow wannabe. That's who, mate. Don't you worry about that, bad boot. Right, off we go. I just went into so like the area I'm from in terms of speech in England, and like I just realised that everyone's going to wonder what on earth I've just said. Like, why have I just called you a boot? I'll explain. You've got to bear in mind, I'm from like the English equivalent of Texas, essentially, just in the middle of nowhere. So I will get to the horrible slang that some of us have another time. But for now, let's watch Jihaad Campbell just go to work. Just go absolutely to work. Just again, goes through a block, that's so good. Against Oklahoma, it's the second game now. Sorry, I know I've watched this about 8 times now. But okay, look, he absorbs the first hit. Shoulder pads the second into shoulder. And immediately after flooring the tight end, jumps onto a running back within a split second. That is crazy work. Now he's crashing the pocket. Like the speed of which he can get there. By the time the quarterback's thrown, he's completely sealed that. It's scary. That is a scary player. So again, we're seeing more of him. I know we're like, again, a few plays in. But opening up now is like a Mike in this place. Trying to keep an eye here. You've got 2 backs in the backfield, a pony backfield. One's going to be a lead block. One's going to be a lead off, you assume. It is. Campbell's keeping his head up the whole time. Immediately took a step inside, then a step outside. Make that tackle, and I'll be very, very excited. Not quite. Hell of a run. But I'll tell you what, he read that well. Not well enough, some would say, but he read it well. Maybe just one step too many. Gets off the block. Nice. It's just an inch away, a day late and a buck short. And he's gone. But right place. He wasn't a million miles away with it, and you'll see it better from this angle. You can see him just scraping. That's where he needs to get to. Oh, he's not far. I think he might have even had a mitt on him when all was said and done. Isn't a boot a car truck? It's a good point. Also, love the WWE picture. Love that. You might see the CM Punk hat in the background, and I've got Adam Cole and MJF there. If you ever want to talk graps on this stream, more than happy to. Yeah, for some reason, the area I'm from, obviously it's full of farmers, and they talk very weirdly. And so I guess the terms often used like my beauty, like my beautiful, or I'm my boot. Don't know why. Saying it out loud makes me feel physically ill, if I'm honest. But there you go. As much as if I've got to learn wood or ice and Delco colloquialisms, then it's only fair that I bring over some really niche ways of speaking in England that like no one would ever even think about. Campbell seems to have lost his foot in there, but that quarterback looks weirdly like Baker Mayfield. Odd. That's bizarre in an Oklahoma uni, no less, but fair enough. Jackson Arnold. Was he drafted this year, Jackson Arnold? I feel like he was, wasn't he? Or am I tripping? Might be making that up. So it's either Lincoln. No. I'm in Devon. I'm down way out the way. So right in the sticks. But look at that. I like the geographical knowledge there. Checking me up. He's trying to dox me one way or another. But if you ever do find where I live, you're more than welcome to come over and have a beer or a cup of tea and some fish and chips, to be honest with you. I'd embrace just having someone come over and talk Eagles. It'll be nice. Let's see what Campbell does here. He's a lot more in coverage in the first drive and a half of this, well, 2 drives of this game. We're not seeing him used as much off the line, which means the next play is going to be right on the line. Can't wait for that. So let's have a look when that eventually loads in. It's coming. Hurry up. What are we doing here? Okay, there we go. Okay, no, he's not. Right, so... Oh, my God. Oklahoma's running backs are tearing up. That Bama defense. Great block, to be fair, by the... I would say it's a fullback. Oh, it's a quarter. It's Arnold that's gone, I think. Crazy. Hell of a play. Yeah, it was, yeah. That's an unreal effort from Oklahoma. We'll keep an eye on Campbell again. So he's up here. So he takes a little bit of bait. Yeah, it's just a dream little play for them. And it just sneaked the quarterback through. And he's just gone slip through that gap. Yeah, I don't think they were expecting that. Just you can't really judge a player off that. To make to stop it, it'd be unreal. But still wrestling to get off that block. I like the hustle, I like the energy. Been a bit quieter of a game for him here. He's kind of getting some work from a very meaty number 58 there. And I wonder if that's where... Oh, hang on a minute. Okay, right. Before, I don't care how this play ends. I just want to watch how quickly his hips flip. Because I didn't realize he was playing boundary corner. Right. Just bear with me. Yeah, I like that. Okay, it looks a bit bad in slow-mo, but just look, ready? It's a little bit slow. We're talking about a guy that rushes the passer, that is technically an off-ball linebacker, and is able to just flip and go and keep his head on the quarterback. Please don't complete the pass and make me look... Okay, nice. I think that was just a bit of rare agility there. I wasn't expecting to see that from him. I know he's a monster athlete. We've not seen that somewhere like this. You just don't see it often. Oh, what? You dropped that. Moron. Ain't having it. Devon's nice. Oh, in Northern Ireland. Oh, no way. Love that. Devon's nice. It is. It's good for golf. I'll give you that. Devon is good for golf. If anyone wants to come to England, Devon, and you want to play golf, Devon is a great spot for it. Nothing like a cuppa and biscuits. Doug, when I come out... Oh, I haven't told you guys, have I? I haven't told you because I've been streaming like so little. And again, I apologize profusely for my lack of streaming. Body clock has just been kicking my ass. But we're back now. Look, the draft's happened. I think we killed the draft coverage-wise. Now we're back. We're breaking down prospects. But exciting news. So I am now another year older. I might have said this before. Actually, thinking about it, I probably have said it before. But for my birthday, my girlfriend got me a plane ticket to New York. So we're coming out to America. The plan is to stay there for a month or two, somewhere in that range. So we'll spend like a week in New York. Because obviously, I mean, Schnepp's Media that owns us is based there. So we can go see all of those guys. I get to go and stand by the Wall Street Bull. She can go and look at Central Park and lovely buildings and things. And then we'll get some bagels. And then after that, we're going to hopefully stay in South Philly for the rest of the holiday with a bit of luck. So yeah, lots of Eagles games. We're going to do a big tailgate party. We're going to have a PSN party, like a big meetup where we can get all of you guys and as many of our writers as humanly possible together. Have a few drinks, go to a few Phillies games. I want a bit of everything. I want to do everything. And if I can cover a game from each team, that'd be sick, but I might be pushing it a little bit. But yeah, so if you are in Philly around October time, I don't know the exact dates. I think we fly out like the 14th maybe. Well, I will set something up where we can maybe get a tailgate or two and just try and get a big, lovely group photo because, yeah, 10th year of doing PSN, and it's crazy that a lot of you guys were there in those first couple years, and I'm now a 30-year-old man with my anti-Joe Burrow haircut. So to spend some time with you all would be absolutely amazing. And just to thank you and get soppy and cry a little bit, that would be nice as well. So in the meantime, back to Jihaad Campbell, who, has been a little bit quieter this game than the last. Then the game's also much tighter. It's only 3-0. So can't really expect. But this is the sort of game you want to grade, though, because it's going to show that individual excellence a little bit more. Calling shots at linebacker, scrapes very well. Doesn't need to do anything too dirty because the rest of the team have it covered. I want to see what he pointed out, though. Did he point something out? I mean, you've got you got 3 potential ball carriers here. Did he point out the ball carrier? That's what I want to know. Look, it's VAR. Okay, we can't really see a line. He's pointing. Maybe it's the guard giving something away. I would say it's the guard. And then as a result, the ball goes to that side. It's hard to say because I don't know what he was pointing out from that view. And I wish maybe we will get a better look at it. If we don't, I think he's... maybe we do. Okay, we do. What's he pointing out? Please point it out. 10. Okay, he's pointed out 10. Was it just because he came out of his stance a bit quick? This goes back to that football IQ thing. Just wait. He's pointed something out for 10. So who... Look, okay, I'll level with you. I'm not going to lie and just be disingenuous. I don't know what he's pointed something out and I made a stop. That's good enough for me. I don't need to know the ins and outs. All right, that's not for me. But we will do it. So that's fine. Good tackle. There we go. All right, he's eating up a bit now. He's heating up a bit. But you can see already that the difference he makes to a defense from a versatility standpoint, from an athleticism standpoint, like it's scary that he's gone to Philadelphia. Like this isn't, just that they've taken a guy like one of the tight ends or a defensive end. Like this is a top 10 talent in the eyes of Howie Roseman, taken at number 31. And that's just, it's scary. Like, I don't think you need to see the most elite player you've ever seen to understand the impact he can have in the right scheme. And when you look at how Fangio builds his defense, like this is to a T. This is a player that just fits the bill, can do a little bit of everything. And yeah, I think he's going to be a problem. I think he's really going to be a problem. So I don't mean to give you an ASMR drinking answer. But it's out of an Eagles bottle, so we're all good. I promise. Okay, coming down a little bit quick. Go on, make a stop there. No, not bad. Again, good effort. Very good effort to just be around that ball constantly. Reads it so well. He's just, again, another inch away. But if you just look at his placement, somehow loops around a player trying to block him and then at least gets him into traffic. Positioning wise, I think he's A1. Like he's never out of position. He might just be like an inch away from making the stop. And you're going to fine tune that over time. But, scary. Did I see the Milton Williams interview? No, I haven't. I don't really listen to many NFL podcasts and stuff, to be honest with you. Like I've occasionally tuned into Chris's one because I just think he's great. Especially around the Super Bowl, he's very fun to watch. But yeah, I haven't seen it. I'll have to check it out. Is this like post move away from the Eagles? Like after he's got his big bag and he's all secure now? Like, is it kind of a retrospective one, or is it like an older episode and I've maybe missed a detail or two? Either way, I'll check it out. I'll have it on in the background. I don't really listen to many podcasts, to be fair. Like old Ricky Gervais ones, like really old Ricky Gervais ones before he got weird. With like Carl Pilkington and stuff. That's a lot of fun. And then the occasional wrestling or golf one. Like, it's weird. I try and keep... I don't know how to explain it. I don't like I used to really listen to Colin Cowherd when I'm not sure if they do it anymore, but they used to upload his Fox Sports show to like Apple Podcasts or whatever it was, like the same day. And obviously, being in England, we couldn't get the show, so it was my way of being able to listen. And I loved that. And if I'm honest, outside of like the Jay and Dan show with like is it Jay O'Brien and Dan O'Toole? Jay Onright and Dan O'Toole. That's the one. I know where I got Jay O'Brien from. I haven't really listened. No sports podcast has really gripped me, as it making me want to listen to it like most days. So maybe I'll try and give it a bit more. I like this hustle here from Campbell. Doesn't quite make the tackle again, but effort wise, really, really good. It was a couple weeks ago. All right, sweet. I'll take a look. He was talking about Fangio, make sure they're prepared for everything, that they knew what to look for every game. I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised. That sounds very Vic Fangio to me. I still find it crazy that when he when he left Miami and all the Miami players were just like being absolutely rogue with how they reacted to it and were like slagging him off on social media and stuff. I can't believe that they've gone, or Fangio's gone from that to a Super Bowl champion within 1 year of being a defensive coordinator. Like that blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind. And I think it's a testament to, it's not necessarily what's that saying with like, it's like bulldogs, isn't it? Aptly enough, because of Georgia. But like, it's never the dog, it's the owner or whatever, or like sometimes it's the environment. Put a dog in a happy environment, he's not gonna, act up, sort of thing. Talking of acting up, that was a sensational play. But yeah, Fangio is just he's someone I would love to sit in a room with for like 20 minutes and just pick his brain about the most random things. That's a ridiculous. Sorry, but first and goal. Oklahoma are up here 10-3, just starting out the third quarter, and just the balance there. All rep before this is 2 steps into the rep. Jihaad Campbell already look just shifting around. Balance is very, very good. You've got to get off a block here. He does that, bounces round, and right in front of the goal line, an inch away. That's a hell of a stop. That, if I'm honest, that might be the most impressive play I've seen from him all day. That's genuinely so good. Just over the top, patient. Oh, look at that. That's unbelievable. Yeah. Oh, it doesn't matter. They've scored now. One play. Oh, have they? Yeah, I think they have. Oh, you'd be gutted, wouldn't you? You just laid your life on the line. Oh, were they short? They might. I think they were short. Okay, all right. Let's see what he can do for third down then. Jihaad Campbell, can he get another stop? Oh, look at this. Look at this. No. Oh, he had the speed. He was trying to go round. I think at that point he sort of realized he's going to cut inside, and the tackle just pushes him out the way. Like one step wider, and I think he might have just got away with that. I think he crashed too early. I think he's crashed too early, and the tackle's just shoved him out. Like, I'm not sure if we'll get the other view, but if he'd have just stayed sideways here and a little bit further that way, one step round the tackle, and you might have got away with it. Ifs, buts, and maybes. If Maya had wheels, she would have been a bike and all that. But still, very impressive overall. For a quite a game where Oklahoma is dominating here. They're now up 24-3 by the time we next see him on the ball. I mean, this is pretty good. I think someone might have just knocked on my door. I'm not sure. I have to try and keep it down. Also, it came through the letterbox. I don't know. I think I've got really thin walls in this house. This isn't going to go well. I need to soundproof this office or something. So you can have like an ASMR stream for the next like 20 minutes or so. Let's have a look. Breaks out well. Yeah, nice play. Very nice play. Very nice indeed. Oh. Not bad. Okay, I'll tell you what, I am really liking what I'm seeing. Really liking what I'm seeing. Little run play again. Oh, it's class. That is just, it's different gravy. It's different gravy. Patient. It would have been so easy to just crash that offensive line there and just charge downhill and run into that block. But instead, he just waits for it to open to him, makes a stop. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah, he's eating up a bit now. I think he's probably pissed off at the fact he's down 24-3, despite not actually playing that bad at all. But if this is objectively one of Bama's worst games of the year, and this is as bad as it gets, I'd say he's done pretty good. If you ask me, I'd say he's done pretty good. He's really good first round bar. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I think he's going to play a big role for this defense. Like, realistically, if you're going to forecast it, like, to build the defense out at the minute, you'd have what? Carter, Davis. Let's say Carter, Davis, Smith. And then in one formation, you're probably looking at Campbell. In another, you're probably looking at Huff. I think they'll maybe rotate them. Linebackers at the minute will be Bourne and Campbell. Or if Campbell's out, maybe, depending when Dean gets ready, if he's not ready by week 1. It's difficult to say, but they have now got options there, which is nice, obviously. Took a second linebacker, another Georgia product. So we'll take a look at him in the coming days. And you still have Jeremiah Trotter there as well. So that's interesting. But if they want to go smaller, you've just taken another cornerback. You've got Cooper DeJean there, Quinion on one boundary. You've got Adore Jackson. You've got Ringo. You've just got so many names now. Like, you've got a box safety that can move around a bit in Makuba. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with this defense. And, you know, you've got someone like Jalix Hunt as well, who reminds me of like a little bit of... If Jihaad Campbell was like 20 pounds lighter and, well, just that, if he was 20 pounds lighter and came from a small school, like, and maybe the IQ is nowhere near as polished. We'll go that. Let's not be too complimentary to Jalix Hunt. I love him. I think he's going to be a great player. But the processing, the athleticism to get that at pick 31 is genuinely staggering. So I'm all in. Could experiment with 3-3-5 sets with Campbell, Bourne, and Dean. See, now we're talking. Now we're getting saucy, and I like that. So overall takeaways, I think it's a ridiculous pick. I think that's so good for Howie to have pulled that out of his arse from somewhere. To have almost traded up for him beforehand as well with the Packers to pull away from that, to stick and to get him at 31 after another minor move. You like, look, it would have been so easy to just go, look, let's go and get an edge. Let's go get the safety. Let's go get, you know, whoever it is, whether it was going to be Malachi Starks, whether it was going to be a defensive tackle. Like, there are a few names on the board. And to just stick with your board and get the best player available and someone that isn't just locked to a linebacker role. Like, in the 2 games we've watched, we've literally, again, seen him line up here, like, both games. That's a weapon that you can do so much with and get so creative with. And I don't think he needs a strict starting spot. Like, it'll be, you know, as Birdbrain says, experimental, I think, with formations. There might be some where he's in a 4-man rush. There might be some he's in a 3. There might be some he's the extra linebacker. There might even be some he's in the slot. I think you can just do so much with a player that just screams athletic monster, that is built like a 6'5" safety, but moves like a defensive end and covers like a linebacker, and has the instincts of one. Like, his instincts are brilliant. As I said, even this game, he was like an inch short every time, like an inch. Positioning wise was perfect. Reading the game, very good. Constantly light on his feet, keeps his eyes fixed on the quarterback, reads the eyes very well, isn't deceived by action beneath him, doesn't bite on routes or anything like that. Yeah, I'm a big fan. And on that note, I'm going to call it a little bit early just because I'm pretty sure something came through my letterbox and it might be a letter to Shutty Fucky Uppy because I think the neighbours might be a bit annoyed. So I need to go and see what that is. But until next time, I appreciate all of you. Thank you very much for hanging out. And just a really quick thank you as well for tuning into our draft content. That was some of the most fun we've had. I know it was a bit of a different one because we started out doing our like 8-hour watch-alongs back in the day. And we decided to pivot this year to try something different. And I think the streams were better. They, you know, drew more people in, which is great. The articles were better. We had more of them because we weren't all burnt out being on a stream. And yeah, I think that was one of the best drafts, if not the best by a mile, that we've ever had at PSN. So thank you all for tuning in to that content, because it's always a chaotic period, and getting to share it with you guys and hear your reactions and share those with you is amazing. So I really appreciate you guys hanging out. Pleasure's all mine, Duck. The pleasure is all mine. So on that note, one takeaway, Jihaad Campbell's a stud. Second takeaway, I will see you on Wednesday, where we will go over the tape of Andrew Makubu and see how he will fit into this defense and give some rough takes on his play and ability and potential and all of that good stuff. So if you want to see more, Wednesday, 6 p.m, I'll see you right here on the PSN channel. But until next time, go Birds.